Hello everyone and welcome back to Jade classes. In today's session, we are analyzing Act 1, Scene 6 of William Shakespeare's Macbeth. Coming directly after the chilling conspiracy between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth in Scene 5. This scene marks as a striking tonal shift. We see King Duncan arrive at Inverness, admiring the serenity of the castle and the sweet air around it. Now, what makes this scene a masterpiece in Shakespearean tragedy is the intense dramatic irony. The pure, trusting king believes that he has entered a sanctuary of peace and loyalty. He is completely unaware that he has just walked into his own death trap. Let's dive straight into the text and break down the lines, imagery, and symbolism step by step. King Duncan arrives at Macbeth's castle at Inverness. King Duncan. This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air meanly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. So in these lines, Duncan remarks that Macbeth's castle is situated in a very lovely, comfortable location. Okay, so pleasant set. Duncan remarks that Macbeth's castle, is situated in a very lovely and comfortable location. The breeze, okay, is fresh. It's bricks, means namely means it's bricks, and sweet, soothing his refined senses. Okay, so the breeze is fresh, it's bricks, and it's sweet, so which is soothing his refined senses. So just to note the dramatic irony over here. Duncan perceives serenity, heavenliness, and peace in a place which is marked for his blood bath. Now, next dialogue goes to Banquo. This guest of summer, the tempest haunting martlet, does approve by his loved mansionary that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jetty phrase, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle where they most breed and haunt. I have observed the air is delicate. Okay, so Banquo here he reinforces Duncan's impressions. Okay, how Banquo here points to the martlet. Okay, now what is martlet? So martlet is just like swallows. Okay, so Banquo points to the martlets, so which are a summer migrating birds. Okay, that builds a nest in holy churches and temples. But the presence of the martlets, okay, in Macbeth's castle, it is a proof that the air here is pure and is welcoming. Okay, so marlets generally builds their house, okay, or I may say that builds their nest in those places which is calm, okay, quiet, okay, pure, clear. And when Bankier saw that the marlets have built their nest, okay, in Macbeth's castle, so he come to the conclusion, okay, that the air here is pure and welcoming. Heaven's breath smells wingly. Every architectural projection, okay, ledge, so which is referred as jate, decorative band, okay, referred to as frieze, wall support means buttress, and suitable corners, okay, coin of vantage, okay. So everywhere means all these spots had been turned into a hanging nest. Okay, that is pendant bed. Okay, hanging nest means pendant bed. Okay, for raising its young. Okay, that means the merlets means uh, give birth to their young ones and they raise their young ones in this nest. Okay, so procreant cradle. Bankier notes that marlets only nest where the air is sweet and delicate. So, as I've already said, okay, that it is often noticed that marlets build their nest in churches and temples. Okay, so where the air is sweet and delicate, and so when he saw that the marlets had built their nest in Macbeth's castle, so he instantly comes to the conclusion that the air is sweet and delicate there. Okay, now what is the symbolism and the motive over here? The marlet here symbolizes innocence, holiness, and divine grace. The imagery of nesting, okay, and procreation. So it sharply contrasts the sterility, the dark curses, and death Lady Macbeth, okay, invoked in the preceding scene. Okay, so Lady Macbeth had invoked the uh, uh, black spirits. Okay, in the preceding scene. So the imagery of the nesting and procreation. So it sharply contrasts with the sterility, with the dark curse. Okay, and Lady Macbeth's invocation of the dark spirits. Okay, so which we have seen in the previous scene. Clear? King Duncan. Sissy, our honored hostess, the love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I teach you how you shall beat God. Okay? Will ask for your pains and thank us for your trouble. So Duncan greets, so Lady Macbeth comes out to welcome, okay, Duncan. And Duncan, on seeing Lady Macbeth, okay, he greets Lady Macbeth with warmth and with nobility. Duncan here explains a polite paradox. Okay, so what did he say? That the devotion of his subjects occasionally causes them trouble, okay, or you can say inconvenience, okay, to host him. Yet he appreciates it because it stems from love. Hence, he jokingly teaches Lady Macbeth to pray for God to reward him for bringing her his trouble, and so to bringing in bringing her this trouble. Okay, because it gives her an opportunity, okay, by which she can demonstrate her loyalty. Clear? Now here, okay, this is speech of Duncan. It highlights Duncan's gracious, humble, and affectionate nature as a king. So which underscores the wickedness of the treason which was against him. Okay, next speech is of Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth says, all our service in every point twice done, and then done double, were poor and single business to content. Against those honours deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house, for those of old and the late dignitaries heaped up to them we rest your harments. Now Lady Macbeth, so she replies with elaborate hyperbolic, okay, courtesy. Clear? So Lady Macbeth, so she replies with a very elaborate and hyperbolic courtesy. She explains that even if all their services were doubled, okay, and doubled again, clear? That is four times. So if all their services were doubled and doubled again, it would still, okay, be very insignificant, okay, and an inadequate gesture, poor and single business, okay, compared to what? Compared to the immense honor, okay, the immense honor that the king had showered on their household. Clear? So here she is referring to both the past royal favors as well as Macbeth's recent elevation, okay, to Thane of Quarter. She adds that, okay, they will remain his humble, okay, hermits. Clear? So she adds that they will always remain, okay, Duncan's humble hermits. Rest your hermits. Okay, praying perpetually for his well-being. That they will always, okay, go on praying, okay, for the well-being of the Duncan. Now, can you just notice the deception and the duplicity in Lady Macbeth? So Lady Macbeth embodies her own advice to look like the innocent flower, but the serpent under it. Her exaggerated humility, okay, it marks the calculated treachery. Clear? So this is a deception. This is duplicity. Okay, so Lady Macbeth embodies her own advice. It means what if she had advised to Macbeth that to look like the innocent flower. Okay, but the serpent underneath. So she is, okay, following it. Her exaggerated humility. So it mocks. Okay, so it is veiling her calculated treachery. Duncan. Where is the Thane of Cawdor? We caused him at the hills, and had a purpose to be his purveyor. But he rides well, and his great love, sharp as a spur, hath holp him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guest tonight. Okay, so Duncan inquires about Macbeth. Clear? So Duncan inquires about Macbeth because it is only Lady Macbeth who has come up to the gate, okay, to welcome him. Okay, Macbeth was not there. Clear? So Duncan inquires about Macbeth, that where is the Thane of Cawdor? Okay, and he notes that they rode means that they rode hard, so chasing right behind him. Clear? So right behind him, right behind, okay, Macbeth. So coursed him at the hills. Okay, and Duncan had intended to arrive, okay, first and prepare the way, okay, as his supplier. Clear? So he wanted to be the purveyor. Means Duncan wanted to reach, okay, Macbeth's castle. So before Macbeth. Clear? However, Macbeth rode faster. Okay, and Duncan thinks that he means as Macbeth rode faster. Okay, he is spurred on by his devotion. Okay, and love. Okay, that Macbeth was spurred by his devotion and love, so which made him to ride, okay, faster than King Duncan and reach home before Duncan. Okay, so Duncan cordially reaffirms that they are our guest for the evening. Now, one thing to note over here. What is it? Macbeth's swift riding was driven by anxious guilt and treasonous, okay, coordination. So it was not pure loyalty, as Duncan had innocently, okay, presumed. Clear? So Duncan had presumed that it was his, okay, pure loyalty, his love towards Duncan, okay, because of which um, he rode so fast. But it's not like that. Okay, so Macbeth's swift riding, okay, it was being driven by his anxious guilt and his prisoner's coordination. Okay, Lady Macbeth. Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in compt to make their audit at your highness' pleasure, still to turn your own. So sorry. Lady Macbeth affirms absolute, okay, feudal subservience. Clear? So here in this speech, so Lady Macbeth affirms absolute feudal subservience. Okay, so she states that all they possess means everything that they possess. Okay, they are servants and their very lives. Okay, so are held merely in trust, in count as an account, ready to be audited and returned whenever the king commands. Got it? Okay, so Lady Macbeth, okay, affirms, okay, that everything that they possess, their servants, okay, and even their lives are held merely in trust. So, which is ready to be audited and returned whenever the king commands. Okay, so here we get, okay, this bookkeeping metaphor, or you can say that here we see a financial metaphor. Okay, in compt means the words like in compt, okay, audit. So it, okay, indicates, okay, the financial metaphor, or you can say bookkeeping metaphor. So which sounds strictly obedient on the surface. Okay, but chillingly foreshadows the life and death accounting she is preparing for the king. Clear? So this words in compt, okay, then audit, it may sound strictly obedient on the surface. Means if you look at the survey surface level, okay, then this words may sound strictly obedient. Okay, but it chillingly foreshadows the life and death accounting that she is preparing for the king. Okay, King Duncan. Give me your hand, conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess. So Duncan, okay, takes Lady Macbeth by the hand, asking her to lead him to Macbeth. He reiterates his deep affection and promised favors towards Macbeth, okay, concluding with gentle courtesy. Clear? So Duncan, okay, in his speech say that he will continue, okay, his favor towards Macbeth. Okay. Now the image of the trusting king being led by the hand into his execution chamber by his murderous hostess. It provides a powerful visual climax, okay, to the scene's dramatic irony. Okay, so Duncan is unaware about means of anything clear that what is going to happen to him, and the Lady Macbeth, okay, leading him. Okay, so this image of a trusting king being led by the hand into his execution chamber by his murderous hostess. Okay, it provides a powerful visual climax to the scene's dramatic irony. To bring it all together, Act 1, Scene 6 is a haunting study in dramatic irony and false security. Shakespeare leaves us with the tragic image of Duncan being led by, by the hand into his own execution chamber, blind to the treachery disguised as hospitality. In the next video, we will look at Act 1, Scene 7, where you will see that Macbeth grapples with his conscience in his famous soliloquy, if it were done, when it is done. If you found this line by line breakdown helpful, do like the video, subscribe to Jade classes, and drop your questions and interpretations in the comments below. See you in the next lesson. Till then, bye.